The history of the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, ARVN, began with the establishment of South Vietnam in 1955 following the Geneva Accords of 1954, which divided Vietnam into two regions, North Vietnam, which was communist-oriented, and South Vietnam, which was supported by Western countries, particularly the United States. The ARVN was formed as the official armed forces of South Vietnam with the primary purpose of defending the country against threats from North Vietnam and the Viet Cong guerrilla forces. From the beginning, the ARVN received substantial support from the United States, including training, weapons, and logistical assistance. This made the ARVN an important part of Cold War strategy aimed at containing the spread of communism in Southeast Asia. Throughout the Vietnam War, the role of the ARVN evolved. In the early stages, the force was heavily dependent on American military advisors. However, it still participated in various important military operations, including securing rural areas and confronting Viet Cong guerrilla attacks. One major event was the 1968 Tet Offensive, when Viet Cong and North Vietnamese forces launched coordinated attacks across multiple major cities. The ARVN, alongside U.S. forces, managed to hold strategic positions, although the event demonstrated that the war was far from over. Entering the early 1970s, the United States began implementing the policy of Vietnamization, which involved reducing the direct involvement of U.S. troops and transferring the responsibility for combat to South Vietnam. During this period, the ARVN faced increasingly difficult challenges as it had to conduct military operations without the same level of direct support as before. This situation revealed various internal issues, including differences in unit quality, uneven troop morale, and dependence on air and logistical support. Perceptions of the ARVN varied widely. The ARVN was often seen as having limitations in discipline and effectiveness, although some units demonstrated strong combat capabilities. Within South Vietnam itself, the ARVN was viewed as a symbol of national defense, but it also faced criticism related to leadership and corruption. Meanwhile, North Vietnam and the Viet Cong regarded the ARVN as part of a foreign-supported military force. After the complete withdrawal of American forces under the Paris Agreement of 1973, the ARVN became the main defense force of South Vietnam. However, in 1975, North Vietnam launched a major offensive known as the Ho Chi Minh Campaign. The attack was rapid and well coordinated, causing ARVN defenses to collapse across many regions. Major cities fell one after another until Saigon ultimately fell on April 30, 1975, marking the end of the Vietnam War and the dissolution of the ARVN as a military institution. In conclusion, the ARVN was an important part of Vietnam War history, reflecting the complexity of the conflict. It demonstrated a combination of operational successes in certain periods and structural weaknesses in others. The history of the ARVN cannot be simply categorized as strong or weak, but rather as the result of highly complex political, military, and international conditions during the Cold War era.